So initially, since I'm an electrical engineer, so I used to work especially on the design and installation of the electrical systems. So we came up with a concept of modular construction, wherein about 60 to 70% of the construction was done offsite. And the third and the most important thing, which is also coming up, is the digitalization.
Hello, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, the podcast where we dive deep into the journeys of extraordinary individuals who are redefining industries and shaping the future of business leadership. I'm your host, Tanay All, and today we are honored to have a guest whose career spans over 3 decades of excellence in engineering, governance, and sustainability. With expertise that bridges pharmaceuticals, biotech, renewable energy, and beyond, he's a visionary leader known for driving innovation, championing sustainability, and delivering high impact results on a global scale. Let's uncover his remarkable journey insights and strategies as we welcome Mr. Prashant Saxena to this podcast. We welcome you on the show, sir.
Thank you so much for this incredibly warm welcome. It's really an honor to be here on FaceTime with Leaders. I'm excited to share my insights from my journey so far. And it has been a path which is more about collective efforts rather than my personal achievements, I would say.
So, with over 3 decades of experience in project management and engineering excellence across global manufacturing industries, you've undoubtedly witnessed significant transformations. Could you share pivotal moments that shaped your career and the lessons you've learned along the way?
Thank you so much for that insightful question. So, over the past 3 decades, so I have experienced several pivotal moments across my journey of which has actually nurtured my career, and I have been successful throughout my career in that. So the early in my journey, when I started my career, I worked in various industries like the steel industry, chemical industry, glass manufacturing industry, and a large part of it in the pharma industry. So initially, since I'm an electrical engineer, so I used to work especially on the design and installation of the electrical systems. However, during that phase, I realized that it is not just the technological advancements that is sufficient for creating any infrastructure. It is more about the usability of that infrastructure, the reliability of that structure, and the sustainability of the structure, which eventually builds this for a business sustainability. So that was the most important thing that I learned out of this journey at that point of time. Furthermore, when a biggest moment came when I led a big project of about $56 million in Scotland. So that was an biotech project for antibody drug conjugate. And it was very complex project over there. And the most challenging part that came to us that this was in mid of the pandemic, which was COVID. And we faced a lot of challenges with respect to the uh, logistics, operational constraints and all. So what we did is like we had a great team, though it was a multicultural team over there. Since people were involved from various countries, UK and Scotland, also from British, some European colleagues, some colleagues from North America, and I was from India. So however, we complemented each other over there. And the best thing that I learned in this or that in this entire thing was that how do we compress this entire schedule into 18 months? That was the biggest task. So we looked at various methodologies of construction, the new ways of constructions. We implemented modular construction in that so that we were able to achieve it. Second, and most importantly, like we were working together with the team. So the communication, which was most important in any in such kind of projects, which is quite vital in this. So the transparency in which the communication happened, the collaboration which happened, it really led to a successful project over there.
So, leading the construction of a state of art antibody drug conjugate, which you were just talking about in Scotland, is a monumental achievement. The project with its $56 million budget and 18-month completion timeline undoubtedly would have presented some unique challenges. Could you share some of the key obstacles you encountered during this endeavor and the strategies you employed to overcome them?
Yeah. So when we started this project, so this was a very complex project with respect to its construction, its size, and also since this comes within the regime of regulatory compliances, so that made it quite complex in nature. So when we started this project, that was peak of pandemic. So initial design phase, in fact, we were not able to physically meet the designers. They were not able to travel to the site at that point of time. And if you recall that point of time, Microsoft Teams had just picked up. So we made use of that Microsoft Teams, and the entire engineering designing was done on MS Teams. So that was something we tried to see how we can utilize the digitalization in this. Further, when we moved into the execution phase, the biggest challenge that point of time was like, how do we control the site activities since pandemic was there, and there were a lot of restrictions on number of people working at site together, maintaining the right hygiene and all. So we came up with a concept of modular construction wherein about 60 to 70% of the construction was done off-site in other factories, and it was brought to the site, it was assembled over site, and this is how we were able to achieve what we intended for. Uh, the another important factor was the coordination between the different stakeholders. So that was most important at that point of time, since everything was being fabricated elsewhere and then coming to the site and getting it assembled. So there was no chance that we could do some kind of a mistake in that. Everything had to be validated before it actually came to the site for installation. So that was the most challenging part. Furthermore, like when we started working, I mean, we were towards the completion. Obviously, there were certain challenges which normally would come in any project. But then the key to this was the transparency in the communication, because I have seen throughout my career, communication is something which eventually leads to some kind of a disasters, if not disasters, some kind of a challenges that come up during the execution of any project. So that is where we focus a lot, and we preempted any challenges that could come in and took a corrective decision before it could eventually come up. This is how we were able to deliver it on time.
Yeah, I think preempting a few challenges always helps.
That's right.
So, leading a $33 million greenfield project and achieving record timelines is no small feat. It speaks volumes about your leadership and determination. So, when you're at the helm of such a large scale, high pressure initiative, what drives you to maintain not just efficiency but also inspire your team to deliver excellence continuously? And how do you personally navigate the challenges while staying connected to the bigger picture and not get into the nitty gritty sometimes?
So this 33 million project, that this is a bit old project, almost I would say it was in 2005, a bit old. And the most challenging part of this is like, if you recall that point of time, there's a place called Baddi in northern part of India, wherein it has become a pharma hub. Okay. And my company was almost, I would say, the last to step in over there. And there was, from a regulatory point of view, there was a certain deadline which had to be achieved. And until we meet that deadline, we would not be able to get certain tax exemptions from the government. So that was a key thing in this entire execution of the project. We had only about 12 months in hand to do the actual execution at site. And primarily, we had a very lean team at that point of time. I think there were only 5 or 6 members who were actually supervising at site. But the most importantly, the driving force behind all that, that all these members were committed, they were passionate about their project, and they were all aligned with the fact that we have to achieve this in a certain period of time. So, and it was really a marvelous journey. I mean, we celebrated together every small achievement we did. So what we did basically, we divided this entire project into small milestones, and every milestones we achieved, we used to celebrate, and the members, they used to get due credit, the value. So that kept them motivated enough, and we were able to deliver that project on dot on time. In fact, a very funny thing is, like, the day we this was conceptualized, the day of inauguration was also finalized on that day, and we were able to
Oh,
deliver that. So that is something which was quite, I would say, interesting, and
and
really it
yeah.
was a great thing.
And I think working backwards is probably one of the toughest tasks anyone ever gets, right? Where you have a deadline, you just have to deliver and work
Yeah.
backwards. So, yeah. So, you've successfully implemented carbon footprint reduction roadmaps across multiple sites, which is such
Yeah.
a tangible contribution to
Yeah.
sustainability.
Yeah.
So, knowing the urgency of addressing climate challenges, what practical steps or key takeaways can industries, regardless of their scale or sector, adopt to achieve similar impactful results? Like, how do you ensure these initiatives not only succeed but inspire others to take action as well?
See, the most important thing, but I have realized in this is, like, many of the industry members or the leaders, they take this as a, I would say, not as a business opportunity, but as a compulsion. So I would look at from the other side. So it is not just a business compulsion. It is more of an achievement, more of an something wherein you can actually improve your operational efficiency because of this. And when you look from that angle, it is a completely different thing than what usually people would think about. So, in fact, I would just, since I have worked, I was part of the complete roadmap creation for our company, and which included about 16 manufacturing sites spread across the globe in different continents in North America, in Europe, in India. So, along with the sustainability, the reduction of carbon footprint, we were also being able to have a financial impact, reduction in the financial operational OPEX. You know, so that is something which really triggered this entire journey, and even the leaders, the company leaders were excited about this. And we had taken a very aggressive target in this. I mean, we just started about a year back, and we have uh, demonstrated that we'll be able to achieve about 42% reduction in our carbon footprint in next 5 years. So
Wow,
that is massive. and
100%.
and the biggest challenge which we face in this is that it is not just a percentage, it is more like an absolute value. And moreover, if you see, each business, they keep on growing, but then still you need to achieve that absolute target. So this is something which keeps us going. So it is not just one time roadmap that you create. It is always in a dynamic state, and you keep on correcting those things, mitigating any new things that comes up. And it has been an amazing journey. The key takeaway from this is getting the people involved. I mean, when you are working with so many different stakeholders, so many different manufacturing plants, and each of the plant and the location has its own challenges. Like North America will have different challenges, Europe will have different challenges. In India, also in different states, we have different challenges. Like, we do have an renewable energy policy. There is a country level policy, but then each state is having their own different policies, and which are quite contradictory, I would say. Uh, Primarily, you may feel that it is very pro But then when you actually go for implementation, there are certain states wherein you feel that it is there are a lot of challenges that come up while executing certain things, renewable energy things. But then looking at the entire perspective, we were able to create a practical roadmap. I would say it is not just a small thing. And I would say in first year itself, we were able to achieve about 18% of overall 42%. So that has been quite an achievement. And we have a complete roadmap for next 5 years. Which we have prepared, and beyond that also we are working for long-term strategy, maybe for next 10 years after that.
And that is the way ahead, going
That is the
green,
way. Yes.
reducing. Yeah. So, as we look to the future, how do you envision leveraging your leadership and expertise to influence boardroom dynamics? Like, what kind of legacy do you hope to leave in shaping organizational strategies and driving meaningful change at the highest level?
Yeah. So, specifically with my expertise in project management, delivering so many projects in different parts of the world, I would say, global projects. So I have worked with different cultures, different people, different stakeholders. And I believe that the most challenging part in any assignment or leading a company is to manage the stakeholders. The kind of communication you have to do with them, each person is different. So how do you communicate them with them? How do you influence them? And how do you align them is the most important part. So that is something which I have learned during my entire journey. And apart from that, there are other things which have also come up, which is ESG, which is now a talk of the town, I would say. So which is with my role in the ESG, I have, in fact, that is the way which will now be progressing with all the other industries. So it is becoming a key thing which every industry has to adopt now. And the third and the most important thing, which is also coming up, is the digitalization. Okay. I
100%.
mean, with AI coming in, and if you see any of the articles about AI, they talk about almost 50% of the companies have already started using AI. But I believe that is just a start. So adopting that, and the most importantly, the change management for that is the key to the success. Then I believe my experience with the project management, ESG portfolio, and also some part of digitalization, which I have used during my journey in the project management, would really help me to lead uh, any company or maybe influence the board members over there, which can help the company to grow and
Yeah,
sustain.
yeah, absolutely. So, leading ESG initiatives across 16 manufacturing sites is no small task, and it speaks volumes about your commitment to sustainability. So, how do you manage the delicate balance between the technical challenges and the broader strategic vision required to make these industries truly impactful? Like, what drives you to keep pushing the envelope, especially when it comes to creating a lasting change?
So the most important thing what I've felt over here is change management, which in fact I talked about a little earlier as well. So the way we approached this is the first and foremost thing that we did is we did a complete assessment of each of the site, which we termed it as a maturity assessment. So by way of that, we came to know is what is the maturity level of each of the site, and it was, believe me, it was quite different about across different sites. Even within the same country, each site was very different. So for each of the site, we had a different strategy how to approach them. So what we did is we made a small team over there, which was a sustainability team in each of the sites, which were basically used to influence all the site members. So that was most important. Unless the team members are aligned, they know why this is to be done. And if they understand it, why this needs to be done, then 80% of your challenge is resolved, I would say. So this is the approach that we took. And then we supported them by providing them technical inputs rather than uh, putting something on their head that you have to do this or that. what we did it was more in a collaborative manner. We asked them to create ideas, and we just substituted them with our technological ideas, which they uh, very easily absorbed that. And that's how we were able to create a roadmap. And even the roadmap which was created for each of the site, that was basically adopted by the sites, and they had taken the responsibility to drive those things. This is how it helped us achieve this in such a short time duration of time.
Sir, from your experience, what has been the most valuable takeaway from your involvement with Directors Institute, and how has it shaped your approach to leadership and governance?
With Directors Institute has been phenomenal. In fact, uh, nowadays, until you upskill yourself, it is upskilling is, I would say, it is not just a maybe way of life. It has become a way of life. It is not just a necessity. It is uh, something you need to progress with every
Yeah.
time. And looking at the dynamics of the business, it is very important that you should be prepared how to take decisions, how to align yourselves with the changing environment, and which Director Institute is really helping us evolve on that. It has really helped. The way the course has been structured is that you know about what is the conventional way of looking at the board proceedings, but also how do we tweak yourselves, or how you prepare yourself for the upcoming things, upcoming challenges. This is what is taught to us. So this is something. It is not just a kind of I would say theory book or something like that. It is more of a practical experience which really puts us in shape to face any challenges coming up.
Thank you so much for this kind words, sir, and for being here today. Your insights into driving sustainability, leading ESG initiatives, and your approach to corporate governance is truly inspiring. It's clear that your experience and dedication to impactful change not only shaped the future of a lot of businesses, but also inspires others to follow in your footsteps. Your perspective on balancing technical challenges with strategic goals is something we can all learn from. So, to our listeners, we hope that today's conversation gave you valuable takeaways that will empower you in your own leadership and governance journeys. Thank you so much once again, sir, to join
Thank you
us
so
today.
much. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Stay tuned for more thought provoking episodes like today's in the future. Until then, keep striving for excellence and having fun in your journey. Thank you so much.